Hello everybody, and welcome to my TikTok. Not my TikTok, my TED Talk. You see, I got confused there, but I'm gonna have to keep going on because the whole point of this TED Talk is to improvise. Yes, that's what we'll be focusing on today, improvising, and I want to teach you all how to improvise. And in doing so, I'm going to be improvising myself, so I hope you all learn a bit today. Now, first thing that everybody needs to improvise really well is a bass. You need to have something to go back on. Like in music, if you're improvising, you need chords. Say you want to pick chords before you improvise, like the 1, 5, let's say 4 and 5, 7 chords. And you keep going back to those and interchanging those in the left hand, and as you play the chord, you play a note that corresponds with that chord each time. And maybe you'll get a little bit fancy with it, maybe you'll try something when you're feeling confident, but you'll keep returning to those bass notes because you know you can play those. So that's what I have here. I have a little paper next to me. Here's a quick flash of it. That is my bass. Now, I don't know what I'm going to say about these subjects, but I've got 5 subjects of how to improvise that I've quickly come up with here. So the bass is the first part. You really need a good bass just to go back to. The second part is confidence. Even when you mess up, you're going to have to keep going and make sure that people don't know that you're messing up. And if they do know, that they're not made uncomfortable by it, because the last thing you want is an uncomfortable audience. Number 3, even though it seems a little counterproductive, it's going to be practice, because even though you can't necessarily practice every situation that you're going to be doing, you can practice coming up with words on the spot. So you won't be necessarily practicing the specific improv that you'll be doing in the moment, but you're going to want to practice having a quick mind, having just good people skills. You're going to want to practice stuff like that. That will really help with your improvisation skills. Now, number 4 is a really hard one, especially for me. You know, I'm kind of a perfectionist myself. I hate failing. When I do, it's really hard for me to accept it. But number 4 is going to be quickly accepting your failure. If you make a failure, you can't dwell on it, because if you dwell on it, you go back to number 2, your confidence is going to dwindle. People are going to start feeling awkward. They're not going to watch you anymore. Everybody's going to be sad. But if you just quickly accept that you made a mistake and then you go on, I mean, number 2 and number 4 are kind of similar here, but bit of a similar idea, but still, you gotta think about this one more on its own as well, because it's a pretty big one on its own. Accepting failure is very hard. And number 5, since I really couldn't think of anything, I just decided to write, imagine everybody in their underpants. And, you know, maybe this works for some people. It doesn't work for me usually when I'm up in front of a bunch of people. I'm usually too busy trying to come up with a bunch of things in my head, but maybe this will work for some people. I couldn't really think of a 5th tip, but there you go. That's my 5 tips on improvising. I like to call it 5 tips on improvising from somebody who doesn't know how to improvise. That has been my TED Talk, I really hope that you have all enjoyed it. Anybody watching this, have a lovely day. It really has been a blast. I'll see you next time.